Hey all, this is Joe from Paracord Reviews, and today we're out in my workshop, also known as my garage. But this is my little man cave, and this is where I do some of my paracording, especially since I'm in Florida during the fall and winter. During the summer and late spring, I'm in the house, but out here I can turn on the laptop, turn on the radio, do my thing. Anyway, so this weekend I was out with the scouts and we were camping, and when I go camping I bring my paracord. Why? Well, I make tons and tons of keychains to give away whenever we are selling things and people donate or buy. It's just my little way, and you know what, it keeps me busy. I also make bracelets for the boys if it's their first camp out with us. So it's a good time had by all. But one of the dads was asking, what do you need to get started? And of course I said paracord. I told him it's good to have, like, say, a knife. You know, this is one of my knives I use. Nice little pocket knife got from Cabela's. I told him maybe some scissors. This is just a cheap set I have. And some needle nose pliers. Otherwise, you know, if you have that and a lighter, preferably a butane, you're good to go. But then I got to thinking, because that's not all I use. I use a lot more. So today we're going to talk about tools. Now, specifically, we're going to talk about some tools I picked up on the cheap from Harbor Freight. Now, I know some people like Harbor Freight, that's cheap stuff, that's stuff from China, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, you're right. I'm not buying any power tools from Harbor Freight. I'm talking about some basics, though, that you can use. You can buy, get cheaper than going to, say, Lowe's or Home Depot, and at work. So I'm going to talk about the things I've used that I've added on along the way, and that you can too, incrementally for a low price. So let's first talk about my vise. Now, it's heavy, but I chose this Central Forge table swivel vise. So the reason being, I wanted portability. I wanted to be able to move it. So with this, I can move it. But it also gives me the flexibility of having multiple vises. So you can see here, I have the ability, flip it around here, I can loosen this, and just by loosening this, I have two different vises. I have one that has some grip to it, has some predefined holes. Sometimes I'll use this if I'm trying to straighten a nail or something like that. And then this is just a flat one. So it's very nice, very easy to use. It does give you the option, if you want, where you can screw it in, but I've chosen not to. It also is nice because, unlike some of them, I can swivel this. So if I need to adjust, like if I'm building, say, for fun, I made a whip, and I needed to move things around. This gave me the flexibility I needed. One thing I will tell you though, when I first got it, this thing was stiff as hell. And I figured initially, well, it's got paint, it's gonna have to get moved, so I used it. And yeah, the paint rubbed off in here, but it was still stiff. And it still squeaks a little bit to this day. So I put some WD-40. Nope, didn't do a thing. Here is what I actually wound up having to do, and hopefully this works for you. In here, I took a Q-tip and some 10W30 motor oil, and I dipped this into 10W30, and I just went in there and lubricated all up in there. I also put it all along through here. It has made a world of difference. It is so much easier to use, and I will tell you, I use the hell out of this vise. I use it a lot more than I thought I would. inside or with paracording and outside of paracording. So that is product number one. I will tell you, at Harbor Freight, it runs $21.99, which really is not bad. This is a big hunk of metal. I was looking at almost 1.5 times that, 2 times that at Home Depot or Lowe's or my local Ace. So, you know, this is pretty good. If you don't know, or if you're not unfamiliar with Home Depot or Harbor Freight, they have a 20% discount coupon. You can find it online. You can find it in a ton of different magazines. I believe they're in Motor Trend, Popular Science, Popular Mechanics. They usually have a page in there. A lot of times, if you have those local Mint magazines, if you have a Harbor Freight nearby you, you can find their coupons, and they always have one that's 20% off. So that's kind of cool. The other thing that they do is they also have a free giveaway. So in this case, I picked up this little LED light. It's got a nice little light here, magnetized. You can also hang it. So speaking of scouts, this is what my son uses for inside his tent, and then you can have a nice little light. I've used it working on the car, so it's a cool little thing to have, and it's free. If you wanted to buy it, it's like $1.99. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to mention or talk about is something really cheap, but I use the hell out of, and that is super glue. Now, why would I use super glue? Sometimes I'm working on a project, like if I'm making my bullet jewelry, which I do frequently. If I'm making something with bullet jewelry, when I'm taking the bullet casing, like I have here, I'm going to take the piece of paracord and I'm going to put it inside there. Now sometimes I use my E6000, and that stuff is awesome. But there are other times this super glue works just as well. This is $1.69 for a 3-pack. Put a little squirt in there. You got to do it quick though. Put a little squirt in there or on your paracord, get it in there, and it's tight and it's good. So this is a easy pickup. I couldn't recommend more. The other thing, and this kind of falls in that consumables area, Harbor Freight is really good about consumables. Electrical tape. Now, some people will use masking tape when they're working on a project if they need to hold various pieces of cord. I just find that masking tape doesn't hold as well. I don't like duct tape because it leaves that sticky residue. Electrical tape has a nice strong hold. It has a little bit of give. I mean, I think we've all probably used electrical tape, but you can pick up 10 packs of electrical tape for $6.19. So great price. I mean, I think I bought this 4 years ago, and I'm on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've used 3 of them. Now I also keep one in each vehicle just in case. I have one in my Paracord kit, and so that's probably, some of those are probably from old ones. So I've probably used 3, or I've used 2, and I have the 3rd one in my Paracord kit, which is right here. That's the one I keep in with my Paracord stuff. So that one, like I said, is $6.19. Really easy pickup. The other thing that I use the heck out of, and I never really thought I would, was my Dremel tool. So this is the Drill Master. Now the beauty of this tool is it didn't come with this blade. This was separate, but it did come with all of this. It has the cutting tools, all these pieces. It's an 80-piece tool set, and it cost $9.99. It's got little drill bits, polishers, buffers, sanders, just everything you could possibly need. and it's just really been a great little kit. I use it when I'm making my bullet jewelry. I use it when I'm to buff things out, if I'm trying to clean something. You never know. If you're working with anything metal, if you're doing anything intricate beyond just a bracelet, maybe you're trying to add some type of bead, and you want to, you need to make the hole a little bigger. Sometimes using your electric battery operated power drill just doesn't do it. You need a little more finesse. This is perfect for it. If you need to trim a little off, this is perfect for it. Now, because like I said, I do some cutting, I will go ahead and I did go ahead and buy a multi-pack of the Diamond Rotary Cutting Tools disc. They come in a 5-pack. I've used 2 of them already. Here's my 3rd, and I got 2 more. I usually just keep them. Now this little storage container, actually I picked up for fishing, so that's but I use it for this. But those were $6.99, and that's what I use to make some of my bullet jewelry when I'm having to cut through casings. I believe it or not, I've even used it to do some woodworking. So it's multi-use. Kind of like Alton Brown said, you don't want a mono tool. You always look for multi-use tool. So all these things, as I said, are available at Harbor Freight. I'm going to put a link in the description, or at least a link to each item in the description. But if you have a Harbor Freight near you, stop by, get on their mailing list. They will email you stuff. If you have a smartphone, there is a Harbor Freight app, which I will try and put in the description, but it is perfect because you can actually preload all the coupons into your cart, and then whenever you go to check out, you can get the discounted stuff. So like the Dremel stuff, the rotary disc, I actually got cheaper than the $6.99. The super glue has been free before. The Dremel tool, I was able to use my 20% off on, and same with the vise. I used the 20% off on. The Dremel and the vise I bought separately. The 20% off only works with one item, the largest priced item per purchase. Now, I'm going to say this up front. I am not getting paid by Harbor Freight to do this. I am a frequent, and when I say frequent, I mean frequent, visitor to Harbor Freight. I go there a lot because whether it be working on woodworking, working on my vehicle, working on Paracord, they have a lot of the stuff at a low price. Am I going to buy a power tool from them? You know, I bought a leaf blower, and it so far is pretty good, but that's about it. I haven't bought anything, and I don't know that I will. I've considered buying a generator from them. So if you have bought any electric tools or any type of big ticket price tools from them, let me know. Tell me what you think. So that's about it. I am going to have some other videos. I'm going to be talking here soon about Wish.com. And I'm also going to be talking about Chinese-made Paracord versus US-made. So look forward to that. Those are coming soon. But for right now, you all take it easy and keep paracording. Later.